Ebusian for Sabri or Dranimia. And there a day and commotion cocrana a day a bremo sabri. Nidi kind mebo would you be ama yenina yeti. Etie na yedi emu enchirimu ayede abremo. Mummy Concotis audioing. Na yeba yede ensemuno emu enchirimu nyinano. Ebemamo amana kama. Ebra dwumadin so ekoso no onya kwanyan so a obetimi akire wadwene na also di unsusuye enso ayeden aba. This is a live broadcast ayeye ewo YouTube live. Inti so wo adwenkyere wo comment bi a yebesre na also wo di adwenkyere ene wo comment ayeden aba. Hi, NK97 TV. You try say Baba Modia, you test see video no ebi kakra. Inti ye hear the Facebook live no I say you bet me I bibia live na monso no watimi enya kwanyai akire mo adwene. And then senkan ya ne ye aura aura a operation recover or loot. And then omudi umjumedi nyina baby ya. Omudi akoma John Dramani Mahama. Ewo my Ghana mu. Ebra John Dramani Mahama Obano. Na o kyerɛ sɛ ɔne no nkrɔfo nyina kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ Nana Ado ɔne na pamfo ɔmo hwɛ sɛnea ɔmo nnwumadie ɛteɛ no a ɔmo ɛfom agyapadeɛ ɛyɛ aban no agyapadeɛ ɛno nti ɛna ɛnam so ama aban no ɛnso ɛyɛ sɛ ɛneɛ ɔbɛ bɔmɔden na watimi ate saa committee na ɔmatimi abɔmɔden na ɔmakɔhwehwɛ nsɛmu na ɔmatimi di ɔmo a ɔmo di fɔ ɛfa ɔmo ɔmafa aban agyapadeɛ ɔmo nsase enyina no ɔmo betimi unravel na ɔmo timi ababɛka kyerɛ ɔman Ghana nti sabri ɔmo panyin na ɔda no ɛyɛ okudeto ɛno nti na ama ɛnɛ maba dwumadie so a mede live coverage ebremo straight from United States of America na ebra nsam no koso no na yeso yitie ye de aso so to from ahwe nea ekoso enti nsam no a okudeto abrokwa edi anim na ode krata ni nyina ekokoma eye ye papa John Dramani Mahama no enum nsam ni bi na meba bebo ede amamu no se ne medical kan no oba me ma wakwa aba also ubetimi akire wadwene na enyina no ayo man chichire enti na ye ha. We are here not just because of personal score, but we are here for a reason. Ti enyina ebebo mu nkyeremu no na yetimi ama ye nyantiase ewe politics a ye ye o man Ghana mu no. Yedi kan mo ma membo video we na se wo ho asem ka bi a wo so de ababeto.
John Dramani announce this oral preparatory team. The members of the team include the eminent former Auditor General, Mr. Daniel Yautomlevo, COP retired Nathaniel Kofi Boachi, lawyer Martin Pebu, a private legal practitioner, and Mr. Raymond Acha, the ACE investigative journalist. I was tasked to be their chief servant of the preparatory team. We swung into immediate action. We set up channels of communication consistent with the mandate that the president-elect at the time gave us. So we set up a toll-free line, 0800 900 111. We established a website, www.oralgh.org, an email address, public@oralgh.org. Her Excellency the Vice President was also generous to offer us a conference room as our secretariat. So that's served as our secretariat. So we didn't have to pay rent for our meetings. We also want to use this opportunity to thank the young Ghanaians who volunteered, because every Ghanaian is passionate about the success of oral. IT experts volunteered to set up this platform for us free of charge. So the toll-free lines, the websites, these are patriotic Ghanaians who did not demand any compensation from us. And we want to convey the appreciation of Ghanaians to these young, patriotic, selfless Ghanaians. By way of quick numbers, and these are very important numbers, we received 1,493 calls through the toll-free line, 1,493. We also received 924 emails. Fortunately, all of these calls are recorded automatically, and all the emails have also been preserved for verification and validation. So in total, the number of complaints received amounts to 2,417. So those who had any doubt about how relevant and how timely the President's intervention was at the time, this is your evidence. 2,417 complaints received. Where will all of these people have gone if President Mahama had not set up the oral preparatory team? So President Mahama has been vindicated. It was a masterstroke. It was the right decision for our country, and it has deepened transparency and accountable governance. Over the last 53 days, we have reviewed these petitions. 44 were received directly from civil society organizations and other public-spirited citizens. 59 of the 230 cases reviewed containing the documents we'll be submitting today were cases that had come up during the period the NDC was in opposition. But we decided to go back to those matters and carry out a detailed review, and all of those are contained. So today we will be presenting a summary of these reports, 230 of them which have been analyzed in greater detail. Your Excellency, we also want to bring to your attention that even before we move to phase 2 of oral, which is going to focus on the actual recoveries, the actual retrievals, we have identified 10 initial benefits of oral, and we want to run through them quickly. We take the view that oral has deepened transparency and accountability. It has really increased public awareness about the need to protect state assets. And it is also serving as a guide to the new government. And government officials are now more conscious of the need to make sure that, as President Mahama has consistently said, charity begins at home. Secondly, thanks to the establishment of oral, we have been able to save 50 bungalows that were on the verge of being demolished. 50 bungalows. We received distress calls from public servants who said people had showed up, so-called private developers, to demolish their bungalows. And in the report, we have provided the detailed list of these bungalows, some belonging to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Gender, Social Protection, the CSIR, and all of that. But for the President establishing oral, we take the view that all of these 50 bungalows will have been demolished. So what we did is that when we received the complaints, the distress calls, we immediately called the National Security Committee, and we were very privileged because of the president's foresight. He strategically positioned COP Kofi Boakye in oral and also in the National Security Committee. So as soon as the reports come, he then relays the information to National Security Committee. So media, please get it clear. We are not saying that we, Team Oral, physically went to prevent demolition of bungalows. No, that was not part of our mandate. We were only to receive complaints. But as responsible, conscientious citizens, it will be irresponsible to receive the complaints and just allow those bungalows to be demolished. So immediately, national security is informed and then they act. So please ignore all of those barrage of unfair and baseless attacks that Oral has suffered. We did not carry out any physical operation on the ground. We only report to national security and then they act. We also collaborated with national security to save the Northern Development Authority lands at cantonments. A private developer overnight on the eve of the president's inauguration moved in overnight to erect a wall, divided the property into half. Some of you are conversant with that land. It's just opposite the U.S. Embassy, very prime land. That is where the Constitution Review Commission used to sit under Dr. Raymond Atuguba. It was allocated to the Northern Development Authority, and these private developers claim that it now belongs to them. But the staff of NDA called us, and we promptly called National Security, and they moved in, so we were able to save that land. National Security has since demolished the wall, and so the land is safe for the Ghanaian people. We also collaborated with National Security to halt state asset takeovers across the country. You'll see from the report that we have videos and pictures of vehicles whose number plates were being changed, and so that they will virtually steal them for private use. Again, acting on those type of national security moved in quickly, and were able to save a good number, hundreds of these vehicles. Again, the list is provided in the report. There was also a clash at the Du Bois Center. We received a distress call that a private foundation was taking over. We immediately called National Security. And so what we have done now is to ask that the factions should meet and the new Minister for Tourism should resolve the matters. Again, if Oral had not been established, only God knows what would have happened at the Du Bois Center. Number 6, we have also saved large portions of the agric mechanization lands at cantonments. Those of you who are conversant with that land, opposite the Elwak Sports Stadium, all of it had been allocated. But fortunately, when Oral was established, the Association of Vegetable Producers and Exporters reached out to us that that's where they used to operate. Large portions of their facilities had been demolished, but their cold room was on the verge of being demolished. And so we called National Security, they moved in, and we have been able to save large portions. Only, I would say, about 20% of the land has seen some development. Politically exposed persons are building hurriedly, but at least 80% has been preserved, and it is for the president to advise on what will happen to.
All right, listeners, let me pause. Viewers and listeners, let me pause this video and this voice that I'm playing. Like I initially said, Okujato Abrakwa is the chairman for Aura. And since the establishment of this Aura within the short period of time that John Dramani Mahama came to power, according to Okujato, this is the mode or the way they collected information from the general public, or they based on to get their information from the general public. They said they used calls. People call them, and it's about almost 1,493,000. That means 1,493 people call the Aura. According to Okujato Abrakwa, 924 emails they received. Then he said they had 2,417 as another form of contact or information they got from the general public. You see, my main issue with this aura is not about the exercise, but my main issue with this aura led by Okujetu Abrakwa is this. I'm going to play another video or audio to your hearing. And now you can assess, you can go back. When you live in a glass house, you don't have to throw stones. Okujetu lives in a glass house and he's throwing stones to people. Okujetu Abrakwa, my main issue, my main concern with this aura, they did not specify the period of time their jurisdiction or their work composite, their time frame, which year to which year do they have to work? Is it the period of the past government time, like the 8 years, or is it a period whereby they have to go all the way to a certain time, even within the NDC period? We are so lucky to lay our hands on some of the documents, but we're praying that one day we're going to sit down with the panelists and review every section of it. And the names that we found, even though the way they portray the aura, has come out with certain revelations, the way they portray to the general public during the election time, it's not exactly what we are seeing in the aura documents. And now Okujetu Abrakwa got a nerve to stand in front of the whole public, the whole Ghana, to tell Ghanaians that they have finished their work. And adding the calls and the emails and the contacts they had from people, if you add all of them, this is even less than 5,000. So how can you use this short period of time to unravel this kind of your purported report that you are giving to the President of the Republic of Ghana? This is wrong. Now let me play this video. During Okujetu's vetting, the committee unravels a lot of, mischiefs, a lot of lies from Okujetu Abrakwa. And this same person, Ghanaians are believing him. Ghana for Tinity, say Okujetu. This guy has never worked in his life. But this guy has a mansion in a place whereby everybody regards them as rich people. Ghanaians don't see anything wrong with it. Now, let me play this video so that everybody will know exactly who Okujetu Abrakwa is. Because Ghanaians, sometimes we always say that we easily forget things. We easily forget things. And we let these those people who lie so much, Before I'm going to play two videos or two audios. And this audio, the first one comes from the vetting committee. And the second one comes from Paul Adom Ochri. How he unravels certain mysteries from Okujetu, the lies. And Ghanaians don't see nothing wrong with it. And they're still pampering such people. Okay? They're still pampering such people. Let me play this video.
So your rent, do you pay it monthly or you pay it annually?
This is Okujeto Abrakwa during the vetting. And let me clarify this. The minority leader, Alfredo Michael, asked Okujeto about where he lives, how much he pays. The reason is being that where Okujeto Abrakwa is living, it's not for poor people. It is not for people who receive 15,000 Ghana cedi as a salary to live. That is not the place. And they have calculated how much Okujeto Abrakwa received, which is 15. As an MP, you will receive 15,000. So if we are able to receive 15,000, a whole year times the 8 years Okujeto has lived in that area, Airport Hills, then Okujeto should come and tell us who owns that building. And according to regulations here, you cannot rent. And if you want to rent, the basis of renting is 2 as radius. So let's listen to how these issues came up with.
Rent. Do you pay it monthly or you pay it annually?
Well, it depends. And Chair, I don't know if you want me to share the tenancy agreement with you, even though I'll have to seek the permission of my dear wife, because we do it together.
Don't proceed. It is not in the interest of the company to be demanding for your tenancy agreement. Let alone the...
You see, that is the NDC chairman, because they are the majority. So NDC chairman, his name is Ahiafo or something like that. He's just protecting Okujeto Abrakwa. But look how Alfredo Michael dealt with them.
Determining how much you pay as rent. Okay.
Well, I mean,
that is. I
like to be transparent. So
but that is personal.
I respect.
You see,
ruling, Mr. Chairman.
Okujeto is so stupid. Oh, he's just playing an innocent game here. I just want to be, be transparent. Since when you Okujeto has ever been transparent? Since when you Okujeto has ever been a transparent? You have never been a transparent person as Okujeto. Because wherever you live, Airport Hill that you live, you cannot disclose your source of income, who owns the building, how much you pay. Because with your 15,000 Ghana cedi as you receive as an MP, can never let you rent, a whole place, which monthly, if you estimate monthly, you're supposed to pay like $8,000. So let's see how Okujeto Abrakwa was able to manage that. Let's listen to that.
Chairman, you see, we are in this public enterprise together. This is a nominee who, desirous of protecting the public purse, holding people accountable, is able to inquire into how people earn their salaries, especially public officers, how people acquire properties and all. I think that it is only fair. For instance, in this inquisition, at least he came as prepared as possible with my own land that I have owned for over 25 years, which is good.
And that's not only what I have, by the way.
No, provide, honorable member, I am happy. I'm happy for you to share with the public all that you have on me. Read them aloud. No, please read them aloud. Honorable members, I want you, because you brought it up, I want you to share with the public all the properties that I have that you have uncovered, including my bank account. Share with the public. I'm happy for you to share. No, I want you to share because I want it to disclose. I am right here. No, I am right here. I am right here. I want you to disclose to the public all the properties that I own that you have.
Honorable Minority Leader, remember, I am the chair of the committee. If you ask a question that relates to that, fine. I can even overrule the question. So please, you are not allowed to mention the others unless the need arose. Proceed.
Honorable member, as part of your inquisition on me, did you discover some other properties that I own apart from what you have already mentioned? Which search result you shared? Are there others that you were able to uncover?
Is there inquisition in the first place, or you just gather information?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I will disclose what I have at the right time. We are following our strategy. You have a strategy, I have my strategy. So let's stick to our strategies.
Oh, good. So, honorable nominee, as part of the information you've gathered thus far, the ones that you have gathered about me, can you disclose them to the public apart from what you have discovered?
I cannot at this point.
Honorable member.
All right. So
you're
this is what transpired, but I'm just going to play another audio to your hearing.
Do you pay it monthly or you pay it annually?
All right. As we are waiting for this audio to play, all that we're trying to justify is that.
Okay, so this is Blackpass. This is the depiction of Airport Hills. Every house in Airport Hills doesn't have those houses that lends itself to rent, like flat apartments and that kind of thing. Every house is a huge big house. 65% of the houses have swimming pool. Those who don't have swimming pool have courtyard. They are beautiful houses. It's one of Ghana's showpiece. Congratulations to the people who did it. That is where Samia Blackpa lives. It's the choicest place to live. Then he comes to Parliament and says, I've been living there for 8 years and renting for 8 years. This is the chairman of Operation Recover or Loot, who is now giving people suspicion about where he gets his money. I don't have any suspicion about it because I understand that politicians get favors. Not just politicians, Unilever chairman will get favor, Guinness managing director will get favor, Airtel MD of Coca-Cola, people get favors. So you have been a minister for 8 years, under Professor Mills 4 years and Professor John Mahama 4 years. You are likely to get a favor. If you have a house at Airport Hills, tell us that this is the favor I got. But you come to tell the whole world that we are all something. So you tell us that you are renting a property. Let's go to the figures of the rent. A picture of it. Now, here it is. So assuming that Honorable Abrakwa is paid 8,000 cedis a month. Now, from our search, Airport Hills, if you want to rent it, we know nobody's renting, but if you want to rent it, you look at the value of the house, the things in the house, and the estate managers calculated for us that if you look at a basic house in Airport Hills, your rent should be between $6,000 and $10,000 a month. Okay, so we went into to take the middle. We took $8,000 a month. So at $8,000 a month, Samuel Kunyota Blackpa told the appointments committee that he's renting at Airport Hills. The appointments committee is yes to obtain his tenancy agreement, but we are assuming what the tenancy agreement could be based on what we see at Airport Hills. Honorable is on $8,000 a month for rent. He's paying that to his landlord. That's Honorable's landlord, pretty emoji, and that's Honorable. Okay, let's move on. Honorable's rent should for a year, if he's paying that a month, should be 96,000 United States dollars. That's honorable. That's how much Honorable Samia Okudzeto pays to his landlord as rent per year. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and this year I'm sure he has already paid 24. He pays 96,000 a month. That's Honorable Ablakwa. That's what he told Parliament, and this is what we are deducing from it. All right. Next is that Parliament pays Honorable Ablakwa 15,000, and 15,000 cedis a month is what Honorable gets. Quite a decent salary, I have to say. Many Ghanaians don't get that. Assuming that 15,000 is $1,000, and the rent over 8 years is now. If we make 15,000 $1,000 from whenever it was paid, now you have to put in the gaps. You know, when we do an equation, the gaps in it, because 15,000 was not always $1,000. You understand? But the value of $1,000 was always what 15,000 can buy. You get it, viewers. Whatever $1,000 could buy then, they can buy it now. But the $1,000 then was reading 5,000 today to reach 15,000. So we've taken care of all of that. All of that put together, we will assume that he's paying 768,000 as a salary, $786,000, and his salary for 8 years is $96,000. So we're asking the question: how did he make ends meet? This is the reason why people are saying that the special prosecutor should come into the conversation. I don't know. I'm not interested in taking special prosecutor, but the sheer disrespect for Ghanaians. That's what I'm concerned about. Okay, so this is a Blackwa's. This is the depiction of Airport Hills. Every house in Airport Hills doesn't have those houses that lends itself to rent, like flat apartments and that kind of thing. Every house is a huge big house. 65% of the houses have swimming pool. Those who don't have swimming pool have courtyard. They are beautiful houses. It's one of Ghana's showpiece. Congratulations to the people who did it. That is where Samia Ablakwa lives. It's the choicest place to live. Then he comes to Parliament and says, I've been living there for 8 years and renting for 8 years. This is the chairman of Operation Recover or Loot, who is now giving people suspicion about where he gets his money. I don't have any suspicion about it because I understand that politicians get favors. Not just politicians, Unilever chairman will get favor, Guinness managing director will get favor, Airtel MD of Coca-Cola, people get favors. So you have been a minister for 8 years, under Professor Mills 4 years, and Professor John Mahama 4 years. You are likely to get a favor. If you have a house at Airport Hills, tell us that this is the favor I got. But you come to tell the whole world that we are all something. So you tell us that you are renting a property. Let's go to the figures of the rent. A picture of it. Now, here it is. So assuming that Honorable Ablakwa is paying 8,000 cedis a month. Now, from our search, Airport Hills, if you want to rent it, we know nobody's renting, but if you want to rent it, you look at the value of the house, the things in the house, and the estate managers calculated for us that if you look at a basic house in Airport Hills, your rent should be between $6,000 and $10,000 a month. Okay, so we went into to take the middle. We took $8,000 a month. So at $8,000 a month, Samia Ablakwa told the appointments committee that he's renting at Airport Hills. The appointments committee is yet to obtain his tenancy agreement, but we are assuming what the tenancy agreement could be based on what we see at Airport Hills. Honorable is on $8,000 a month for rent. He's paying that to his landlord. That's Honorable's landlord, pretty emoji, and that's Honorable. Okay, let's move on. Honorable's rent should for a year, if he's paying that a month, should be 96,000 United States dollars. That's Honorable. That's how much Honorable Samia Okudzeto pays to his landlord as rent per year. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and this year I'm sure he has already paid 24. He pays 96,000 a month. That's Honorable Ablakwa. That's what he told Parliament, and this is what we are deducing from it. All right. Next is that Parliament pays Honorable Ablakwa 15,000, and 15,000 cedis a month is what Honorable gets. Quite a decent salary, I have to say. Many Ghanaians don't get that. Assuming that 15,000 is $1,000, and the rent over 8 years is now. If we make 15,000 $1,000 from whenever it was paid, now you have to put in the gaps. When we do an equation, the gaps in it, because 15,000 was not always $1,000. You understand? But the value of $1,000 was always what 15,000 can buy. You get it, viewers. Whatever $1,000 could buy then, they can buy it now. But the $1,000 then was reading 5,000 today to reach 15,000. So we've taken care of all of that. All of that put together, we will assume that he's paying 768,000 as his salary, $786,000, and his salary for 8 years is $96,000. So we're asking the question: how did he make ends meet? This is the reason why people are saying that the special prosecutor should come into the conversation. I don't know. I'm not interested in taking special prosecutor, but the sheer disrespect for Ghanaians. That's what I'm concerned about. Okay, so this is a black this is the depiction of airport here.
All right, I think Paul Adom Ochre has justified everything for us. You are the one that is in charge of ORA. You are the chairman of ORA. You have been assigned to recover any loot that the previous government, associated with. But meanwhile, you being the person, you cannot justify how much you pay, who owns the house, and you are lying. Even though Kudeto Abrakwa cannot even explain how he uses his loans, the parliamentary loans that they were giving to them. He couldn't even explain that. Now we sit down here and Okudia they received 924 emails. No personal contacts. They did not justify the period in which they did this exercise. Which year did this recovery covers? Did they cover just the past government, or did they cover including NDC period or era? We live in a country whereby people or politicians do things and exempt themselves. Meanwhile, they are culprits of the same situations. Okay? They are culprits. They do the same thing, but yet still they believe that whoever they are pointing at is the accused. But they've forgotten that when you point at one person, the other fingers point at you. The Ghanaians sit down and believe these people. Okujato did mention Raymond Archer. He did mention Domlevo. He did mention COP Kofi Boakye. Are these people credible? We know their past. We know what they did. You see, you can't come and claim equity without being justifying your cleanness. Meanwhile, you are on the same category. Tell me how clean Kofi Boakye is. Everybody knows Kofi Boakye. Everybody knows Kofi Boakye. Everybody knows Raymond Archer. Everybody knows Domlevo. Who doesn't know? Is it not this same Domlevo who always changes his year? He should have been in pension a long time, but he always manipulates his year and stay in power. And you believe such a person? He doesn't want to go on leave for the younger people to come also take the chance and also see what they can do for the country. So how then you believe in Kofi Boakye? How then you believe in this Abrokwa babies with a sharp teeth, as Rollins perceive it. So there is no justification in this aura. And I'm just throwing challenge. They should bring all the people they found comparable to the situation of aura. And they should let the whole country know the people that were corrupt, the people that were claiming and looting the government's property, the lands, state lands, they should come. They should tell all Ghanaians, we found this person, we found that person, we found this person. So that Ghanaians will know that, yes, indeed, Abrokwa, who claims he's the best, who claims he's all in all, and he does what nobody could do. They should come and tell us. Because this is ridiculous. And this is how we're going to go by it. So if NDC think that they can, you see, when Kufuor came to power 2001, when we voted Kufuor 2002, 2000, he came into power 2001. He established what is called fast track high courts. Fast track high courts. This man indeed justified that people looted. So if indeed NPP looted this time, let us see the people that looted the government's state property and everything. Don't just bring the paper and just give it to John Mahama and he goes home and look at it and it becomes irrelevant. No. No. Because NDC has done it several times. After Kufuor's reign, 2009, they did the same thing. And they couldn't find nothing. Now, with the report that they've sent to John Dramani Mahama, we know Adjumamenu issue is there. We know Jemfua issue is there. Even President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's daughter, his issues was in there. But for some reason, for some strange reason, these people have removed from it, from the reports. So whatever you today, even it came out, all your report that you presented to John Dramani Mahama was leaked. Even the people that you work with, they don't trust you guys. So let us see that at this time, NDC, who think they got a man, or they have the man, they have the men, and they have everyone. If they have the law, they should justify this. And see, and let us Ghanaians see that indeed, NDC, you are powerful. Because trust me, the reports you presented today is baseless. It has no argument. It's fraudulent. It's just a mere propaganda. Just to justify. And now you are telling us that you had 10 benefits. You are justifying creating awareness. In Ghanaian society, ever since Kufuor came to power, corruption has been a normal thing to Ghanaians because they've come to know that even you, the politicians, are more corrupt. The pastors and everyone in Ghana, even our mere students are corrupt. Students, they get corrupt from school and get to the top. So we know, everybody knows corruption in Ghana. So it is not this aura that has created awareness. No, it is not. But rather, you came to prove propaganda as you are an expert in it. Because there is nothing you have said that you could have, or you have done a justification to it? Nothing. Okudiato. So if Okudiato can justify, now they said this is phase 1. The report is phase 1, and now the phase 2 is a recovery. So that means they're gonna give it to the Attorney General for the Attorney General to see if there is a means in it to at least put people into a prosecution or take people to court and recover all those loots. Let's see. Let's see if indeed NDC, you have the man. I greet you. Have a good night. Here's NK97. Please subscribe, pass your comments. Let your comment reflect who you are. So if your comment is very insulting, that means you are like that. But let your comment bring a change. I greet you. Subscribe to me and let me do more work to help Mother Ghana. Thank you and I love you all. Bye-bye.